All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. I've been receiving a lot of communication by way of YouTube, instant message, private mail, Skype, whatever may have you, about what's really truly going on. And I just had a dear close friend send me a particular video they wanted me to check out and then want to get my take on it. So after being prompted about this particular notion for quite some time, I thought I'd just go ahead and address it right now. A lot of you people out there in the world, and especially those of us who live in the United States of America, we do not have any clue or no unearthly idea of how deceived we are as a nation. There's, just like I say, you cannot name one thing about Christianity that is the truth. You can't name one thing about the history of the United States of America and the curriculum that the schools teaches us, what they teach us to believe, that is the truth. That's why if you're going to be able to understand the truth and know the truth, you're going to have to learn how to nourish that knowledge within yourself. You can't depend on a system that has trained you and manipulated your mind to exclude truth from your own consciousness. You're going to have to actually do some independent research of your own, because I can get on here all day long, weeks after week, month after month, year after year, and continue to tell you the truth, but you're not going to know if that is the truth until you research it or check it out. Now, the one way you can know if I'm telling the truth is if you have the spirit of truth, which most people who proclaim to have don't have it whatsoever at all. Because if we did, we would not be so hostile toward the truth when we hear it. As a matter of fact, there will be something deep down in the side of our hearts that will actually embrace it when it comes, rather than being very vindictive and hostile against it. But I want to talk here briefly, just for a moment, about this state called Israel. And when I mean state, I mean a country that was colonized in 1948 under the League of Nations by Great Britain and the United States of America. Most people have been deceived into believing that this Israel that was created by these two particular European nations actually fits Bible prophecy, and the truth is there could be nothing further from the truth. As a matter of fact, it's an outright, flat-out, fabricated lie. And those people that are in that land are really, truly not the Hebrews of the Bible that the majority of the people who carry to churches or synagogues or mosque or whatever you may go to during your times and forms of rest or worship. As a matter of fact, we've had reverse psychology given to us, and we've had replacement theology inbred into us. So the truth is that those people that are in this present state or this country called Israel have no genetic link whatsoever at all with the actual people of this book. You've been lied to. Christianity has lied to you. Messianic Judaism and all these other philosophies have done nothing but lie to you. Now, again, you're not going to know that unless you do the research. You're not going to know that until you hear somebody actually bring up something that's going to stimulate your conscience or your mind. You see, I'm a pastor, so therefore I'm a leader. And as a leader, if I do not say certain things, it's going to stimulate your conscience. It's going to stimulate your mind and begin to get you to think outside of the box that you have been trained and manipulated in. Your mind is not going to span to those regions to actually go, let me think about that, because the system that we have all been raised in and influenced by does not want you to exercise self-autonomy. They don't want that. But according to the book, the real true Israel is in exile to the Heavenly Father right now, and that's just the truth. This country, Iran, is going to be attacked by the United States of America. Whether it be under NATO or whatever they come to, it's inevitable. It's already, the writing's on the wall. If you're going to learn the truth, You're going to have to. And if you heard me say this once, I've said it 1,000 times. You're going to have to come out of those Sunday keeping churches. And I make no apologies about how I put it too. Because your footprint and footstep is letting you know who you are in league with and who you approve of and who you serve. There is not a preacher or teacher in this world that can prove that Sunday is the right day of rest according to this Bible. Now let me give it to you right though. It is the right day for those who are pagans and those who are imposters and pretenders. They're telling you the truth from their perspective, but they cannot back it up with this book because this book has not repealed the day of rest. It is still the same, and it is always going to be the same. You know, I often say that Christianity today, modern day Christianity, is just like a Rolex watch that was made in Taiwan. It's fake. And that's just the truth. So a lot of us can't put together world events today because our leaders, or so-called leaders, are not being brutally honest about the truth. We just heard here in this country right here that the structure of a family home is now the minority in this country. You know the reason why? Because of the moral decline, the spiritual decay, and the spiritual bankruptcy that we have in this country now. We have no more moral. We have no morals in this country. We have no values in this country. Whatever the flesh and its mandates and dictates are to you, that is what's right. And that's why we come from the influence of these Greek thoughts. I mean, I can clearly see what's going on because I know history. Because if you do not know history, then you're destined to repeat the same mistakes of the past. And no doubt that's what we're doing. So, no, most of you don't mind hearing from me as long as I'm talking about the economy, as long as I'm talking about world events, silver. But when it comes to telling just a literal truth about things, because there is a truth, and there is the truth, regardless of what persuasion or perspective or influence you come from. We may not like in hearing it. As a matter of fact, truth is very painful. And it's often a very hard pill to swallow. Yet, it is something that needs to be taken on a daily basis. And it's not there so you can be offended, so you can ignore it. It's there for one purpose and one purpose alone, for you to change. And if you continue to do the same things that you've always done, you'll never change. It's chaotic ignorance. So let's just be truthful about it. Here in America, we're comfortable right where we are. We're lazy. We're slothful. We're lethargic. We're apathetic. We're complacent. We're sluggards. And that's just the truth. We believe every lie and have believed every single lie that has ever been told to us. And we fight and we resist and we oppose with everything that is in our being and the fabric of our makeup and our very fiber of our own skin and our minds. We oppose the truth. Yeah, and the reason being is because we fight so hard against change. Anybody who stands for truth, and I don't care what that truth may be, in the time that we're living in now, is viewed as tyrannical. And we are viewed as the people who are actually promoting tyranny. Because anytime somebody stands for truth, it is tyranny upon a system that has perpetuated nothing but lies and have lied to you from cradle to grave. And when you don't know the truth and all you believe is the lie, and you believe the lie to be the truth, is not until it's too late before we finally get it. So I'm here to try to wake up our conscience. Because I just heard from David 113113 giving a report on how that the United States of America has just made it official that they're now going to start dipping into the pension funds of the American citizens. Our government can't produce anything. It takes everything. We have in this country taxation without representation. There's nobody here in this country that represents your interests. Nobody but you. That's the reason why you have better learned independence and self-autonomy right now. And you had better, because it's not an option. You better find those who mean business. And there are people who are stand for the truth, live for the truth. They have honor and integrity of heart. You better know them, because you're not going to be able to survive this upcoming tsunami, this upcoming pending judgment, and the things that we're staring at right now. You are not going to be able to get past this wave of destruction alone or by yourself. You're going to need people. You're going to need those who have the same heart of truth and they have a proven track record that they're not deceivers and usurpers. And that's the truth. I hope I've been able to say something here this morning to try to bring some type of clarity, to wake up your mind and your conscience. But I will tell you this. It's really time for people to start binding together, because it's bad. I haven't been making many videos lately because I've been doing, more than anything, I've been trying to discern even more so what we need to be doing, especially in this time. And I know only a few of you are going to hear, but I thank you for at least giving me the honor to listen to what I have to say. I speak to you the way that I speak to you, and I talk to you the way that I talk because I respect you. I respect you because I believe all my heart that you have the ability to understand when you hear another perspective that is contrary to the perspective that you have been raised in. I believe that you have the ability to discern what is right and what is wrong. Forget about all this fighting over tradition and doctrine. That's a never-ending battle. We have to come together and agree what is truth and then live by it. And that's the truth, and that is the true straight way.